Hello, everybody. Thank you so much to Brianna Cohen for joining us today, one of the stars of the new Lifetime movie, Sisters on the Run. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, thank you for having me, Kiara.
So, tell us a bit, how would you describe Sisters on the Run and Selma, of course, in a few words for all the people that haven't watched the movie yet?
Yeah, so I loved this character of Selma. I would say that this is a character, you often get in interviews like, how much is this character like yourself and what do you pull from it? And this character is one that when I first got the breakdown and the sides for it, I felt connected to her right away. I think she was kind of this Selma is a free spirit. She's a good-hearted girl who kind of lives life maybe a little bit on the wild side, and it's kind of gotten away from her a little bit. And I think we all sometimes have moments where we're like, oh wow, how did I get here? Or I need to, backtrack. And you go to your family, when there's no one else to turn to, or when you really need help to kind of pull yourself out of maybe any dark situation. So Selma goes, she's having some issues with her marriage and with the law, and she's in this relationship she's got to get out of, and she goes to her sister for help. um, they've kind of had a checkered past, but she doesn't know if her sister is going to take her in, and she hopes. um, and uh, and it's a beautiful story of these two sisters kind of rekindling their relationship, and there's a little romance along the way.
I feel like it's a character and also a storyline that the audience will certainly find themselves in it, find a lot of themselves.
I think so. I mean, because I found a little of myself in Selma. Like I think that sometimes life can get out ahead of you a little far, and you got to reel it back in sometimes, and you need
Yeah.
your family and the people that know you the most to kind of bring you back to your roots and kind of remind you who you are and just start fresh, and that's okay. We all kind of make mistakes, or get into tough situations, and that's what your family is for, to kind of bring you back to earth.
And what do you think makes the movie so special and captivating?
So first of all, I mean, I have a great group of actors that I'm working with. Nicole Marie Johnson, Jonathan Stoddard, and Zach Meiser, just to name a few. Brandon Tyler Moore. Um, we shot this actually a year, 2 years ago. We shot it in March down in Mississippi. Anyways, you can cut that part. But we one of the things that makes this film really, really special is the writer and director, Mitch Altieri. He comes from a horror background. He loves horror films, and he wrote this script, he directed it, he had a vision for it to make it really real and really gritty. And I think that in a way, I haven't seen all LMN and Lifetime movies, but this one definitely has like a little bit more of some riskier scenes in it that we weren't even sure, is it going to get picked up. So we were just happy that it had, a proper premiere and a proper place to shine on LMN recently.
Yeah. And since you were talking about working with the rest of the cast and the other actors in on the film, how was it like to work with the cast and the crew and all of them on set?
Yeah. So, okay. So this was actually one of those really kind of blissful experiences. I mean, I haven't had any bad experiences yet, really, but we all worked really, really well together. And probably, thanks to Ricky Masler, who did the casting, and Mitch, our director, who created an awesome environment on set. Um, I had a special working relationship, with each of my like co-leads, basically. Um, that was really, really fun to explore. So actually, I did the audition with Jonathan. So Jonathan and I Jonathan Stoddard and I have been in maybe like 5 movies together at this point or something like that. We've worked together a lot. I always laugh. We were brother and sister, lovers, married, like,
You
all the
did it
combinations.
all. You
We've
did.
done it all. And we were working on a rom-com in Florida when this audition came. And I'm super proud of him because like he is like the rom-com guy. He does a lot of thrillers, so he does a lot of stuff. He's amazing, but he is constantly working. He is like that go-to, leading male. Like he just he's got that Prince Charming thing going,
Yeah.
and we got to really play in these characters and like mess around kind of with accents and mess around with these like kind of different dynamics that were like a little bit different than your normal Lifetime element script. So that was really fun. Zach, who played my ex-husband, I mean, he actually broke my finger before we even
No.
shot. We were rehearsing and something happened and I tripped and something happened, whatever. So I did that whole movie with a pretty much almost broken finger. It was completely black and blue. If you're into that sort of stuff, I'll send you photos. And then, so we had a lot of fun. He like kind of comes, I feel like from a theater background, like he was just down to rehearse and run stuff and take risks. And we had a lot of fun. And then Nicole has become one of my like best girlfriends. We just had like a really great chemistry, which I couldn't, you can't necessarily anticipate, even if you're good friends with somebody. To have like an on-screen chemistry sometimes is like an intangible thing that is just there, and I really felt like Nicole and I had that. And so shooting a bunch of scenes with her were as sisters was really a special experience. And we became close on that.
That's really beautiful to hear all those amazing stories from the time you spent on set. And I know that you said you haven't had any like not horrible but bad experiences on set, but it's really beautiful to hear that not every set is like this. I mean, so it's beautiful to have such a family environment while working on a project.
Exactly, because sometimes it's not that there's a bad vibe, but it's a job, and sometimes you just come in and you do your job and you go home, and you have good experiences. But then when you actually like can hang with people and make good friends for life, it's really
It
fun.
also makes the job easier, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, so I don't have too much I don't have a lot of stunt training. But Nicole and I, Element posted a clip of Nicole and I having kind of a wrestling match. I don't know if you saw that clip.
Yes, I've seen that.
But that was honestly, I have to say, like, that was the easiest kind of stunt fight I ever did. We just, when you when you're connected with somebody, like you can kind of, you know, because it is a little bit like acrobatics and gymnastics. You don't want to hurt people, so you want to be connected with them. And we had so much fun. And so it went from kind of like this fight, this wrestling match, to like kind of a breakdown crying moment. And that's never like not always the easiest thing to do. I think I was a little nervous about it, but with Nicole, like it felt real. Like, she was kind of just holding me, and I was just like, I could relax. And so that's another thing. Like when you have great partners in your scenes, they allow you to do your best and your most authentic work. And so you're always really grateful for that. And I felt that way about everyone on that set. There was like something special that each actor taught me, working with them. And I mean, John can find his light. John can find his light. Like, he's so good technically. He's taught me a lot. I owe him a lot, about working with the camera. And Zach is just like, he's just a fireball. He's like all raw nerve, real, like as real as it gets. Like a beautiful, kind of guy that just was able to let me kind of be real and let go in like kind of those darker moments, but still laugh, still like just crack a joke, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Once the
absolutely.
child cut. Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And talking about challenges instead, what's been for you the biggest challenge you faced while working on Sisters on the Run? And how did you overcome it or them?
Should I talk about my broken finger again? I mean, it was kind of funny, like, so well, what's interesting about two things about these Lifetime movies is that, it's kind of like a soap where you don't get too much time, because we're making a lot of these movies and we're working
Yeah.
under a tight budget and a tight timeline. And you got to keep going, and sometimes you shoot, upwards of, I don't know, 10, 11 pages a day, sometimes more. And it was a strenuous work. um like, it was a tall order, you want to do it justice. So before shooting the first shot, I'm doing it with basically a wounded hand. um I tried to like be as actory about it as I could, and just be like, you're kind of shot up with adrenaline anyway. So you get through it. But yeah, but so it was doing it with an injury. And then there was a scene, one of the last scenes that we shot was the scene in the police car with John, and me. And well, there were two scenes, and then the ending final scene with Nicole, where I tell her where I'm leaving. And she's like, I'm sad to see you go. It was interesting with both of those scenes, because when we did them the first few times, they weren't really working. And I think like we were maybe on different pages.
Yeah.
And especially with me in the scene with John, like, again, it was the last day of shooting. We were losing light. Like, we had this cop car, like, all of these things, all of these components. And it was supposed to be this really emotional scene, and it was. But I don't know if, like, we did it a bunch of times, but I don't know if I got it, like, to that point where you feel good about it. And John was so supportive. At one time, he just like rubbed my back, or he just gave me like a little pat, like, it's okay, And I was just like, okay. But that was a challenge. And sometimes you have to, like, you don't get it, or you think you don't get it, and you don't know what's going to come out. The audience might love it. The director might be like, no, we did get it, and it was great, and something came out of it that you didn't think. But sometimes you have to, as an actor, be like, okay, that's the best that I could do now, this moment, and I'm going to be able to put that aside and go to sleep tonight, and not be up all night thinking, oh, I should have done that, and that's always a struggle, because
Also
as a
considering how you can't actually change what you did by
no, yeah,
thinking
no,
of it over and over.
right, exactly. What's done is done.
Yeah.
I'm going to step away, let the editing and, everybody in post do their magic, music, all of the things. And, just kind of trust in what you did. And some days it's easier said than done. Some days are easier than others. But there were a few scenes in this that were challenging. Um, there were some scenes that were easy and wonderful, like the cafe scene with Nicole and I. That's one of that I did with Nicole. That was amazing, because that diner that we shot in
Yeah.
Mississippi, I think Jackson, Mississippi, that was the same diner that was in A Time to Kill, which is like a
Oh,
19,
the
yeah,
same.
like,
It's the same.
yeah, classic thriller, from the 90s, amazing movie. And so it was kind of a cool part of movie history to kind of shoot in there, b, it looked amazing, so you just felt cool. It was like the middle of the night, and Nicole and I, like I said, we'd become friends at that point, and we just kind of got to like have a good, it was just, she and I crossed each other from the table. There weren't, stunts or big movement things we had to worry about, and we just kind of got to be sisters. And it was a beautiful kind of moment that the movie kind of hinges on, because that's when she decides that she's going to help Selma after turning her away a few times. So without giving too much away.
And what do you hope the audience will take away from Sisters on the Run and watching this movie?
I hope that they take away Selma's resilience from this movie. I hope that they feel powerful. I hope that they feel like they can kind of walk away from a bit of the shame that we all feel, that like it's okay, you know. And I want people to feel strong, and I want them to know that, yeah, that family, and you know, whether those are friends, you know, picked family or blood family, people that really know you and love you and that you love, like, you have the ability to pull yourself out of anything, you know, anything. So that was like kind of a high stakes thing with this story that, you know, made me really love it. And also how Selma's opinion on herself and on life and on family changes as well. So, you know, from the start of the movie, you know, she goes through like a whole sort of thing where she's pleasantly surprised from a few moments. And you know, just know that life, you know, you're never, till you're in the ground, it ain't over.
That's
you
so
don't
true.
you don't know what's coming up around the corner. So, you know, yeah. But she definitely went through a few scary things that I, you know, don't wish on anybody.
Yes. And now a little fun question that we always ask to the people we're interviewing. And
Sure.
considering we're talking about Sisters on the Run, it's on the Sisters on the Run universe. Uh, if you had the chance to play any other character on the movie apart from Selma, which one would you choose and why?
Oh my goodness. Um, Aside from Rose and Titanic, no. Um, you know, I have you seen La Môme, La Vie en Rose?
Yes.
Story of Edith Piaf. I mean, Marion Cotillard. I mean, she does a beautiful job in that. But I mean, that's a movie as an actress in particular that I just think is just like, so we are not worthy. You know, just wow.
Yeah.
Goes through her whole life, you know, and it's really, it's beautiful and it's tender, but it's strong, and you know, it's another survival story, you know, about, you know, not letting your own light kind of go out. So I guess I kind of connect with those type of stories. Who knows? I might have a different answer for you tomorrow, but in this moment, that's what I'm going to go with.
And throwing back instead to other projects that you worked on so far in your career, what's been one of those projects that you're mostly fond of?
Yeah, definitely Sisters on the Run. That was a highlight. I just shot something. I have two films coming out, one in November, one in December, um, that I feel really, really proud of. And I just did a rom-com that's on Plex right now, which is a little bit different
Yeah.
because I've done a ton of thrillers. It's called Love's Secret Ingredient. There are some really beautiful, tender scenes that I did with my co-star Chris Connell, and he was wonderful to work with as well. And so, seeing that kind of other side of me, being able to play around with the kind of lighter side, was fun. And yeah, there might be another rom com happening soon, but I can't talk about
Can
it
you
yet.
tease us something about these upcoming projects of yours?
Yeah, so The Perfect In-Laws on LMN, I believe, is coming out on the 30th. And I play Audrey. I recently married. I come to surprise my husband at his family's house, and I meet everybody for the first time. I don't recommend doing that as a surprise. And you know, I start discovering some secrets there. And then I just shot right before the strike over the summer. I think it's going to be called Deadly Love Triangle or
Oh,
Secret Love Triangle on Lifetime, and that's that's coming out, and I get to escape from jail in that one, and that's really really fun.
So cool.
Jonathan Stoddard is in that one as well. Yeah. So with Harley Bronwyn and Catherine Nunez. So that's fun to look forward to. Some jail cell scenes. Those are
Absolutely.
those
And
guys.
our final question, uh, if you had to give us some advice to young people among our readers who would like to pursue an acting career or a career in entertainment in general, what kind of advice would you give them based on your own experience?
Yeah. My advice to anyone starting in this industry is be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Study a lot. Don't be afraid to be uncomfortable, and just keep on auditioning, keep on working, keep on, you know, keep alive the belief that you're an actor, because if there's something in you that wants to express that, whether it's writing, directing, in front or behind the camera, like, your stories matter. And just keep doing it. Don't stop.
Thank you so much, Brianna. It's been really incredible to have you here and to chat with you about your work.
Thank you so much for having me. I know it's late over there.
Yeah, I hope you had a great time and we loved chatting with you, as I said.
So did I. So did I. Thank you
And
again.
let's remind people that Sisters on the Run is available to stream on Lifetime. And we can't wait to see more of any of your projects and to chat again.
Yes, always grateful for the support. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good day.